Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to this exciting cricket happening show with your host Ram. And what an excitement we had today at the stadium in Bangalore, where not the home team but Kings 11 Punjab went on to a magnificent victory. What a match it was. The match was won by Kings 11 Punjab with Royal Challengers Bangalore putting up a good score, a very high score of 190 for 3, and Kings 11 Punjab chased it in majestic fashion, but the man of the moment was David Miller, who was the man of the match. He got a century. He became the person to actually get a century in the IPL history. It becomes the third fastest century in the IPL, his first 2020 century, and the century was scored of just 38 deliveries. And in what a way, what a way to actually bring up your 100 at a score of 94, smacking Gale out of the ground and going on not only to get his century and being the third fastest century in IPL history, but also going on to win the match for Kings 11 Punjab in majestic style. And Kings 11 Punjab, absolutely, I would say today, they upset the apple cart of Royal Challengers Bangalore, and Kings 11 Punjab winning this match by 6 wickets and staying in the fray. Well, let's look at what happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down to the excitement first of this David Miller hitting. Well, chasing 190, Kings 11 Punjab were 65 for 4 at one stage. The last wicket for Kings 11 Punjab fell when David Hussey was out with a score on 64, that is in the 10th over. And then nobody would have really given a chance at the ground to Kings 11 Punjab. But we know cricket is a very game of gross uncertainties. At 95 for 4, 96 runs were required from the 7 overs. But whether other people, what they felt about it, well, I'm not worried. But I know for a fact that David Miller is quite a capable guy, and he showed that capability today. Not only that, we have seen Kings 11 Punjab ran the Chennai Super Kings very close the other day, and that's precisely they did it today, but they did that one further, but with that stupendous knock, with a hard-hitting knock by Miller of 38 balls, bringing up his century. What a century for David Miller, and David Miller was the man of the moment today. Well, so initially what I'm going to do is first we are going to cover the exciting part of it as to what Miller did. Now, end of over 13, Kings 11 Punjab were 95 for 4. As I said, 90 runs were required from the next 42 deliveries. So 7 overs left and 96 runs required. David Miller was batting on 27, and it was Rajgopal Satish at the other end with 7. Now let's look at what happened. In the last 5 overs, the Kings 11 Punjab rattled more than 96 runs to win the match. They got that 96 runs which were required from 42 balls in 12 balls lesser. Can you believe it? In 5 overs, 96 runs were ransacked by David Miller along with Satish, but David Miller was the lion's share. And just let's look at what happened and what did David Miller do to really hurt the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Well, we have talked about Chris Gale, but today it was David Miller. Well, so end of over 14, the 14th over, Vinay Kumar was the bowler. The third ball was pulled away by Miller for a boundary. Vinay Kumar bowled the next delivery, and that was on his pads, and that was sent up over long on for a beautiful 6. And then Miller, in the next ball, was a good ball from Vinay Kumar, actually got that ball to angle in, but well, in fact, he was absolutely equal for the challenge there. Miller placed it beautifully past mid-wicket for a boundary, and look at what he did to that over. In that particular over, which was the 14th over, 17 runs were taken by Kings 11 Punjab. But this over, which was coming up, the 15th over, was a real bonus for the Kings 11 Punjab, because R.P. Singh was brought on to bowl, and R.P. Singh was clubbed to the tune of 26 runs in the 15th over. It all started like this. The first ball, R.P. Singh came in and bowled to Miller. Miller has deposited that deposited it over long off for a huge six. After that, R.P. Singh decided that he's going to go around the wicket and having an angled one and start bowling on to Miller's ribcage, probably, or on the body. But what a shot from Miller there. Once again, what was good about Miller? Miller was actually giving himself room. He was taking his back leg back and across, and there he goes, Miller. What a shot off the back foot. He has put R.P. Singh over long off for a six. The third delivery that R.P. Singh bowls, it's once more, this time it's not a four, but it is hit with tremendous force and it races to the boundary. And the fourth delivery, R.P. Singh is gone. That has been absolutely like slogged over mid-wicket for a boundary. And the fifth delivery from R.P. Singh is gone once more. This is beautifully cut by David Miller on for a boundary, and look at the damage that he has done to that particular over of R.P. Singh. R.P. Singh's over went for 26 runs, and at over 15 with this bonus over coming in from R.P. Singh, Kings 11 Punjab were 138 for 4, another 53 runs required, so he had brought it pretty close now, not very close but definitely close. And after that, end of over 15 with 53 runs required, it was Rampal. But Rampal came in, but the first ball that Rampal bowled was gone. It was gone over the pickets for a six. It was really taken very well. It was on the legs, and well, Miller, for him it was absolutely easy pickings, and he picked it over mid-wicket for a magnificent six. And then it was a little quiet in the remaining 5 balls, but the last delivery was a slower ball, but Miller guided it deftly, in a very, very deft manner, down past third man for a boundary. And the end of over 16, it was 16 runs which were taken from the Rampal over. Now 17th over, it was the 17th over, Kings 11 Punjab required another 37 runs. They had 24 balls still to go, but David Miller decided that he is not going to wait for that. What he did is Vinay Kumar bowled to Miller, and Miller actually, what a shot from Miller. This was something. He uppercut Vinay Kumar over the fence for a six. And after that, the fifth delivery that Vinay Kumar bowled, oh, that was another shot, which was not a good ball from Vinay Kumar. It was short. It was sent soaring over the deep mid-wicket boundary for a six. And that was the over number 17, and 18 runs had come in that over of Vinay Kumar. And now there were 19 runs required from 3 overs, and probably one thought that David Miller might be just blocking it because there are 3 overs left. But well, David Miller, not David Miller, because David Miller had actually taken a single. Satish had taken a single, and he had gone to the striker's end. And look at what Satish did. Now Satish was a very, very passive partner in this partnership. This partnership was worth 130 runs. What a magnificent partnership it was. And look at what Satish did. In the, as I said, the end of over 17, Kings 11 Punjab 172 for 4, 19 runs required of the last 3 overs. Satish, now this is a time Satish has been pretty passive, but this time Satish left nothing to chance in the 18th over. He decided that he is going to do something that Miller has been doing so far. So the first ball, the second ball that Gale bowled to Satish was sent over long on for a 6 by Satish. And after that, Satish received a full toss that was driven over mid-wicket for a boundary. And then the next delivery was slogged over mid-wicket for a boundary. So that made it 14 runs for Satish. And one was wondering, because at that point of time, David Miller was on 94, and one was wondering whether David Miller would go to his century, because he truly deserved it. But what Satish did in a very, very intelligent fashion is that he blocked the other delivery and went on for a single, and everybody were just waiting. They had time was not a constraint, but Miller decided that, well, he is not going to wait any longer. He is not going to go and take the 18th over, the 19th over for sure. And this was a ball which was hit with tremendous force, and it was hit absolutely over the stadium. It went out of the ground almost, because it was done. Yes, it was absolutely hit with tremendous timing and tremendous force, and it sailed out of the stadium. And what a way for David Miller to bring up his century in just 38 deliveries, and that to a winning six, and his first T20 century in 2020 cricket. And not only that, David Miller becomes the third fastest century in IPL cricket history. Well, so now I have already talked to you about the excitement, and as I said, Ravichandran Satish was there along with him. He was not out on 27 of 18 balls with 2 fours and 1 6, but David Miller was the man of the moment. 101 unbeaten runs of just 38 deliveries, 8 fours and 7 spanking sixes. Now David Miller, let me tell you, he is a real guy for the T20. He is a man who can really clear the park umpteen times. And what a player, David Miller. So David Miller was the man of the match, as you know. Now what I'm going to do, since I have already talked to you about all this excitement that happened in this particular match, I'm just going to briefly cover what happened. Now, just going back to the match here, it was Kings XI Punjab who actually won the toss, and they decided that Royal Challengers Bangalore would bat first. I'm sorry, I said Bangalore. It was played at the Mohali, so it was it was a real home victory for Kings XI Punjab. And what a victory, what a way David Miller took them to victory at the Punjab Cricket Association Stadium here, Mohali in Chandigarh. Royal Challengers Bangalore were the ones who batted first, 190 for 3. They had a very punishing opening partnership from Chris Gale, who went on to smack 61 of just 33 deliveries, 6 fours and 3 sixes, looking in ominous form. And one of the strokes that he played was an intended Yorker from Manpreet Goni, was beautifully taken and slammed over, I thought it was over long on, for a magnificent 6. And the very next ball he was out, but what a knock from Chris Gale. But after that, Cheteshwar Pujara, playing in his first match, got to his first 50 in IPL and his first half century in 2020 cricket by playing some good orthodox cricketing strokes and making 51. It was a real treat to watch when Cheteshwar Pujara plays. The runs were flowing, 51 of 48 balls with 8 fours, and the partnership between these both it yielded 102. After that, Virat Kohli was dismissed cheaply for 14 of as many balls with 1 4. A.B. de Villiers then gave the finishing touches to take the Royal Challengers Bangalore on to 190 with some deft and innovative strokes to remain unbeaten on 38 of 19 deliveries, 4 fours and 2 sixes. Enriquez was not out on 16 of 7 with a cameo there with 2 fours and 1 6. And this is what Royal Challengers Bangalore put up. So Royal Challengers Bangalore putting up a score of 190 for 3 on the board of 20 overs. The bowlers, let's talk about Michael Nasser. Now Michael Nasser from Queensland was making his debut in the IPL, and today he would have definitely liked to forget this, because he was just 1 run short of being the costliest bowler in IPL cricket history, leaking 62 runs off his 4 overs. He's a left arm pace bowler, but he was taken for plenty by the Royal Challengers Bangalore, especially Chris Gale, and then A.B. de Villiers towards the end, taking 21 runs for the final over. Praveen Avana, 4 overs, no made 1 for 28. I thought he bowled well. Praveen Kumar was good in patches, none for 28 from his 4 overs. Manpreet Goni was wicket taker with 241, and Piyush Chawla bowled well, 4 overs, no made, none for 26. Now Kings XI Punjab faced with 190. It would have been the only solace for Punjab would have been that they were playing on their home ground, but well, that didn't really matter. But let me tell you, Kings XI Punjab at one stage, chasing 190, were reduced to 64 for 4 by the 10th over. In fact, the first to go was Sean Marsh. He was caught by de Villiers with the bowling of Ram Paul for 6, who provided the breakthrough, 6 of 7 balls with 1 4. After that, the next to go was Mandeep Singh. He was out pretty quickly. He was caught by Arun Karthik with the bowling of Kumar for 16 of 12 balls with 3 fours. And Gurkirat Singh contributed a runner ball 20 of 20 balls with 3 fours before being LBW bowled Karthik. And when David Hussey went, caught by Enriquez with the bowling of Karthik for 13 of 14 balls with 1 4, it looked like Kings XI Punjab. I mean, one could never say, with David Miller still there, they knew that something could really explode, but not in the way that it exploded today. David Miller, absolutely man of the match, man of the moment, whatever you call it. He was just the man today. He was the key man. 101 not out of 38 balls, 8 fours and 7 sixes, the fastest, the third fastest IPL century. And let's look at the bowling figures, what damage he did. Rampal was absolutely on the money, 4 overs, 1 for 27. RP Singh, that barring that over, 2 overs he had given away 12 runs, and then the mauling he received from David Miller in that particular over, 3 overs costing him 38 runs. Andre Case, 3 overs, 1 for 29 with no wicket. Vinay Kumar was taken to the cleaners, 4 overs for 48 runs on 1 wicket. 3 overs for 24 for Karthik with 2 wickets to his name. And Gale bowled just that 1 over in which Kings 11 Punjab in great style finished off the match even before coming to the quota. In fact, in the 18th over, everything was done with Gale going for 22 runs, with Satish hitting 3 fours initially, and David Miller capping it off by hitting a 6 out of the park and going on to his first IPL century, and also that being the winning hit for Kings 11 Punjab to win by 6 wickets against this very mighty team, Royal Challengers Bangalore. So I thought it was a big upset today. Well, dear fans, friends and subscribers, I hope you all liked my cricket broadcast on the Cricket Happening Show. I just wanted to bring you the excitement. Hope you all loved it. Thanks for your company as always. Thanks for your continued support to this Cricket Happening Show. Your host Ram will see you tomorrow. There are 2 matches coming up tomorrow. I don't want to really take much of your time. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. Your host Ram will return tomorrow. Thank you.